What's up, you guys, and happy Valentine's Day. I am just so grateful for you. And in today's video, we are going to be celebrating you, we're going to be celebrating me, and we're going to be celebrating love, but not in the way that you think. We are going to talk about the role of love in our lives. Does love even matter at all? And if so, how can we use it to our benefit in our healing journeys? So if you're interested in this, please make sure you watch to the end because the video doesn't exactly go the way you think it's going to go. If you are new here, my name is Chloe, and you might know me from my TEDx talk. You might know me from having led over $2 billion in entrepreneurship for vulnerable communities. And on this channel, we explore all the ways that you build wealth, that you heal yourself to have the most vibrant life possible, and the ways that we can be of service to others. So if this sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe because you have found your community. Now, let's talk about love. So first of all, I love to start off videos by level setting. This means making sure that we're using the same language. And for me, when I was figuring out how do I want to talk about love today, there were really four main ways that love is conceptualized in my mind. And that is your self-love, so the love that you have for yourself, platonic love, which is the love we have for other people in our lives who are not romantic, leading us to romantic love, which y'all already know what that is. This is why we're at Valentine's Day. And then there's abstract love. That's love that you have for just things, for experiences, for just being alive. And now, when we're thinking about love, when we're thinking about the celebration of love and those different types, the unifying thread through all of them is that love really is the animating force to how you connect to yourself, other people, or things in a way that is healthy, in a way that is nourishing, and in a way that really lights you up. That to me is love. Especially, when we talk about healthy love, it's really the love that is mutually nourishing to you and the other entity that you are loving. Now, when you think about love in this way, of course it matters. It's truly the reason most of us live. It's the thing that we care so much about. And in our culture, of course, it's not really talked about in that way. We see love in our culture as like the shiny object that you're supposed to basically spend your whole life building towards. You find romantic love, and then everything good comes out of romantic love. We see it in movies, we hear it in song, we see it in books. It's literally one of our biggest cultural narratives. And while that is a sweet sentiment, sometimes it's misguided. And it's often misguided in the fact that when love is put on a pedestal only for romantic reasons, it reduces the full scope of what love could be into one very small parcel. And of taking your entire horizons, shrinking it down to this one very narrow goal or this narrow parameters within which you can be happy, it cuts out a lot of what life is. And you miss a lot of the most vibrant parts of living. So think about your self-love, think about your platonic love, think about the abstract love for just being alive, for just getting to exchange this energy with other living things. It's incredible. And so with that, I wanted to talk, especially around Valentine's Day, about two kinds of love. And those are self-love and then the healing power of healthy romantic love, because this is the holiday that we're in. And so often it gets skewed towards romantic love. So I want to remind people, especially if you're celebrating solo this year, I want to remind you the goodness of both. So self-love is basically, and we can break this down, subscribe because in the next video we really break it down, but self-love is basically your regard for yourself in a way that is positive, in a way that has you having high self-esteem, high self-concept, high self-confidence, you name it, right? Or self-love can just be those small moments where you pick yourself back up and you try again. It's making yourself recognizing yourself as the main character in your story and being in love with that story. It's being by yourself and enjoying your own company. Now, the reason this is important is because you are the only person who is with you 24/7. You were gifted this life as you for a reason, and heavy emphasis on gifted. being you is a gift, even in the moments where life feels really difficult, even in the moments where you are not represented in media, even in the moments where you don't see someone living life the way you want to live it. It's okay. Your gift is yours because you get to make it what you dream of. You get to make it all the things you hope for. And that starts by having a true, sincere, almost whimsical, romantic love for your own story, for your own journey of being on this earth. I want you to care about yourself. And I want you to care about yourself first. And for all of my givers in the audience, because I know there's a lot of you, I really want you to not put yourself on the back burner, because it actually does a disservice to not only you, but to everyone else around you. You know, part of self-love is meeting your own needs. It also means you have to recognize what your needs are. It means you have to get to know yourself. And so one of the tips that I have for getting to know yourself is to always date yourself. Like, I recently got married this past fall to the literal love of my life. Y'all, we could not be more cut from the same cloth. It's actually a running joke between like our friends and us, but even within all of that, I have found myself again and again and again in just more abundance. You know, when we got married, one of the things that I was slightly nervous about was, you know, with all the expectations that are on women and being a wife and being a partner, still being an independent person, it can be hard to, you know, maintain your sense of self. But because I had done so many years of work in therapy, I had learned so much about mental health, well-being, how to find yourself, how to know who you are, etc. When I got married, I didn't lose myself. It actually just strengthened who I am. And that leads me to romantic love. Now, sometimes romantic love, especially in the self-love world, gets kind of a bad rap, which I think is really funny, because I understand that our culture skews way too far into the importance of romantic love, period. I so agree with this. And the truth is, the reason our culture can do that is because healthy romantic love is awesome. It honestly is so good, you guys. And when you have a healthy relationship, when you have someone else that you can trust, that you can connect with authentically, someone with whom you feel safe, you feel like you can take the world on with, somebody you can celebrate your highest highs, and someone who will hold you in your lowest lows, that kind of security is unmatched. And the reason I think this is so important is that when you are healing, especially if you've ever experienced trauma, having the ability or the space to develop or redevelop a secure attachment is such a gift in life. And it breaks my heart that so many people go through life without having this kind of secure attachment with another person. And so the reason I want to talk about healthy romantic love is that it's one of the things that on my healing journey I found the most nourishing. Just as strong as therapy has been for me, finding a healthy love, finding a great, amazing partner has healed me in ways that I never saw coming. Just for example, my nervous system, y'all, my nervous system feels so much better being with my husband. And I don't mean being with my husband versus being with myself, but having been someone that had been in a relationship for about 10 years, thought I would marry that person, and then had that heartbreak, I really could not see myself loving someone again. I couldn't see myself trusting someone. So many different pieces that I felt like were broken. Actually, through my own years of solo work and then coming into full healthy connection with my husband, it not only healed it, but it showed me that there was so much better in store for me. And what I had to do was remember that romantic love was so much bigger than my few experiences. Romantic love was so much bigger than the heartbreak that I thought I wouldn't heal from. Romantic love is so much bigger than what our culture says it is. Romantic love is so much more than sex. It's so much more than codependency. It's so much more than trying to prove your worthiness through a relationship. Romantic love transcends all of those things. And it's really a space where you and somebody else or other people come together and decide that in this space, we are going to see each other in ways that nobody else can. We're going to hold each other in ways no one else can. And in my version of romantic love, we're going to ride for each other like no one else can. And that is such a beautiful gift to cultivate, to nourish, and to also be nourished by. So this Valentine's Day, I want to just share with you, if you've never heard this or you've heard it a million times, love really is about you seeing you. It's about you seeing you in your fullness. It's about you seeing you for exactly who you are and accepting that person and loving that person without needing anything else to change. And then on top of that, self-love is also allowing yourself to dream and go for it. To dream those big, audacious dreams that people might look at you and be like, oh, you wild for dreaming that. And still say, yes, but my story is going to be that beautiful. In this one life, you best believe I'm finna go for it, right? Self-love is allowing yourself to dream big, to work really hard, to go for it, to succeed, and then love yourself enough to know that you were worthy of all the goodness that comes as a result of your efforts. Even beyond that, love yourself so much that you know you're worthy of the goodness in life without effort. And I know that is so radical, especially in communities where we have been marginalized or where, you've just faced any hardship. Of course, that can be a difficult concept to take in. And if that is difficult for you, I just ask you to make this a practice. Just like people practice lifting weights, just like people practice meditation, just like you have to readjust your routines in life to be healthier, you can readjust your mindset. So when you see these thoughts that are big, that feel hard to grasp, but they're the ones you know are healthy, every time you think something opposite of the healthy one, catch it, and with no judgment say, hey, that's not my belief anymore. And just state what your new belief is. Very quickly, you'll find that you've rewired your mindset, which will rewire what you think. From there, how you act, from how you act to what shows up in your life, and from what shows up in your life to your literal lived reality and long-term legacy. So, your foundation has to be self-love, period. Then, we can get into the order of things. That's not really the point of this video, but I truly believe that romantic love flourishes on the foundation of two healthy people who have done the work to understand who they are, what they want, and how they want to move through the world as one set of work. And then the other set of work is how they can support another human being's life. When two people have done both sets of that work, you come together, that kind of romantic love, it truly is unmatched. The fairy tale is fairy tale. It doesn't even write about that kind of love, right? And that love, let me just say, is not just emotion. That love is action. That love is commitment. That love is like a healthy kind of sacrifice. I don't really like using the term sacrifice without giving a lot of context, but for the sake of the length of this video, just understand I don't mean anything that's like sacrificing your core values or who you are. I just mean like those small preferences on the periphery, you can compromise, right? And healthy love is something that it's affection, yes, it's emotion, yes, it's work, yes, it's commitment. It's also a lot of fun, y'all. It's the kind of connection that truly not only lights your spirit up, it helps you understand part of why life is so worth it. And I mentioned to you all earlier that I got married this fall. And one of the things that, or maybe even a few insights I'll just share with you guys that I've had since getting married is that, going into our marriage, we didn't believe two become one. Now, y'all, I know before you even start, I know I was raised in the church with my parents missionaries. I know the scripture across several religions, okay? But I don't believe two become one. I believe two become three. Because in a healthy relationship, you don't lose your identity just to become the relationship. You have to maintain who you are as an individual person. You have to be able to know your needs and take care of them. You have to own your happiness in this lifetime. It's literally part of the responsibility of being gifted your life. So with that, if you're two independent people who are responsible for themselves and who can find help and support and connection and love and safety and security in a relationship, and the relationship is something you have to nurture, something you get to nurture, something you get to work on, then you two people, when you come together into a relationship, and that is if you are into like monogamous relation. Like if it's just you two people. I say two, y'all can be however many people you want, okay? Whatever is healthy and consensual for you, your girl's about it. The point is that when however many people come together and they say we want to commit to one another, that new commitment that you have is a third thing. It's almost like having a child. It requires that much care, that much attention, that much delicateness, delicate energy, gentleness. It also requires the tough love, the conversations on accountability, the leadership from both sides. Having that kind of nourishing love does create a third thing. And that is the thing that both of you have to work on. And of course, that's best done when your foundation is stable. Building a house is so much easier on a stable foundation than a shaky one. So if there's anything I could give you this Valentine's Day, truthfully, okay, if there's anything I could really give you, it would be an overflow of love for yourself. Because when you have an overflow of love for yourself, you will only accept the best in your life. When you have built a life you are so proud of and you so deeply enjoy, then of course whoever's coming next has to add to that, period. That's what I want for you. And if you are someone who enjoys romantic love and who wants a partner or several partners, my hope for you is that you find ways to do the work of love, not just to enjoy the emotions, not to just enjoy the movies, the books, the songs, honestly, because those usually lead to cycles of toxicity, but we ain't have to get into that. What I want for you is the work and the benefits of real healthy love. And to remember that at the end of the day, even if you're not celebrating romantic love on Valentine's Day, the platonic love you have with your people, the abstract love that you have with this life, y'all, they're so worth celebrating. And not just on Valentine's Day, 365, all year long. Love is worth celebrating. And if you're someone who has ever been burned, if you've ever experienced pain, if you've ever experienced heartbreak, I also just want to send you a hug. I get it, y'all. I've also experienced deep heartbreak, both romantic, platonic, abstract, and from myself. I get that heartbreak is really difficult. And I want you to know that as you're healing, you will find not only equal amounts of love, you'll find more love than you ever knew possible. So we're going to wrap up this YouTube video for today. I want you to be ready though, because next video, we're going to be talking about how to build real confidence in 2023. And as like a sneak peek, real confidence does not fall into the categories of fake it till you make it, okay? I'm going to give you real actionable tips on how to build confidence that's unshakable. And from that foundation, of course, love gets a little easier. So you guys, I hope you really enjoyed this YouTube video. I really hope it helped you in some way, because it's the only reason I show up on the internet is to serve you. Now, I told you at the beginning of the video, I'd have a little gift for you at the end, and that is I want to mentor you guys. You know, people have asked me, how have I led billions of dollars in impact, healed traumas, delivered a viral TED Talk, fallen in love after deep heartbreak, etc. And the truth is, it wasn't on accident. There are real strategies that I've used to build wealth, to heal myself, and to serve other people while living the most vibrant life I ever dreamed of. And I promised myself when I figured it out, y'all, I am not a gatekeeper. I was going to help other people. I was going to help you do the same, because it shouldn't have been as hard as I found it to be, and I promised I would shortcut it for other people. So if this is you, check out the description box below this video, because I've left you some cheat codes on how you can get mentored by me every week. And with that, I am sending y'all so much love, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.